Hello, today I've got a surprise for you. Today is a vlog day. So I am going to just walk around my town of Céret, as you can see in the background. And I'm going to just share my thoughts with you. It's right after Christmas 2024, and I'll show you my town dressed up for Christmas. All right. In the distance, it's a little cloudy, so you can't see where the Mediterranean is, but just beyond the horizon is the Mediterranean Sea. And on a clear day, you can see it. You can actually see it. So I'm about 40 minutes from the beach. And while I'm so close, I don't typically get there often. More mountains person, but the mare is quite beautiful as well. And my new doctor is there, so I probably will be going at least a few times a year, and will definitely take advantage of the beauty there. And this is a trail that's very narrow and make me a little nervous at times when there is very little edge, but it's a nice walk nonetheless. All right. So I spent my Christmas I went to a town called Montauban, which is outside of Toulouse, and I spent 3 days there, 3 rainy days there. So I really did not get to see all that Montauban had to offer. But it was nice. And then I met up with a friend, an American who's moving to France, and we visited a little bit in Agen, which is a little further away from me. I don't know if you can see in the distance, there's a tractor. Oh, we're going to walk by that. Is a big house that is overlooking Céret, and there's history there, and I don't know a whole lot about it or can't speak about it, but we'll post something on the video or in the description so you have a little bit more an understanding of what that is, why it's there, but it's very historical. I think the feudal lord might have lived there. Now this is an area that I'm talking about. Can you see? It's a straight shot down there. It's very narrow up here, so I'm being very careful not to trip and fall. It was really cold this morning. It's about, I guess, 38 or 40 degrees. It's warmed up a little bit, but still in the shade. It's a little chilly. But it is the end of December, so it's winter time. It's a sunny day today. Yesterday, when I was driving back from Agen, it was overcast in Agen, a little drizzly, a little, not heavy rain, but the drizzle, and it was gray, and it's been about a week, and I hadn't seen the sun. And by the time I got to Toulouse, there was a cloud, but the sun rays were coming through, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's sun. And then for, I guess, about 2 hours, I had a nice sunny drive. It was a great day for driving. And then I got too close to Céret near Perpignan, and it started to get cloudy. Now, there wasn't rain, but there wasn't sun. I was like, oh. But I was so glad to get home. There's a spot on my drive where I feel like, I am home. When I start to see the mountains in the distance, I'm like, oh. And then as I drive into Céret, like we're in a valley, so it feels like I'm being cradled. So it just like, there's no place like home. Now this walk here is tremendous. You'll see in the distance, in the mountains, the mountain of Canigou, and it's got a little bit of snow, but not a ton. It's been increasingly less and less with global warming. My first year here, like toward the end of May, there was still snow on it, and now that is not the case. Now this wall, this outer wall, I think is original from when it was the house that the feudal lord lived in. But the house that's beyond it, which you might be able to get a view of as I continue, is not original. And I believe that Pierre Brune, who I think was the founder of the Modern Art Museum here in Céret, I think that was his house. That's where he lived. So you can see that outer wall better from down here, but you still can't see that house. So I will have to go a little further down so that you can see it. I often see these bottles of, I guess, water that are outside of people's houses, and I'm not sure what that is all about. I know that I'm a part of a women's moon circle, and I know during a full moon, the leader will put bottles of water out in the moonlight to energize it or give it, better properties. But they seem to be out all times of the month, so I don't think it's that. So Up there behind this row of houses is the house we just walked past with that wall, with that ancient wall. That's the street we just came down. And it is called Pierre Brune. So you can see there. All right. So this is Centreville, Céret, with these magnificent plane trees. And this is where we have our Saturday market. All along these streets, and in the summertime, these trees have foliage, and it is a magnificent canopy that shades that hot sun that we have here. So it's magnificent. It's still magnificent, even in the winter. These trees were planted in the 1800s and 1900s. And from my understanding, they were planted and they follow what used to be the medieval walls. So Céret is a medieval city. We still have two entrances. We don't have the ramparts anymore, but we do still have two entrances, Porte d'Espagne and Porte de France. And we're coming up on Porte d'Espagne right now. Not sure if you've seen any of my videos where I show clips of a Saturday market. It's really hard to film there just because there's so many people, but all of this is a part of it, and there's stall after stall after stall. My friend came to visit me in November, and she was in heaven because she needed to do Christmas shopping, and so we spent all morning at the market, and I think she got most of her Christmas shopping done. She was really excited. So this is one of the parts of the ramparts that still stands, Porte d'Espagne. And these are the arcade, les arcades. And that's really Centreville. I'll probably walk through there in a minute. This is all lit up at night for the holidays. This is Place des Neuf Jettes. And before we had the drought, this fountain would have water flowing from it in the summer. In winter, I think they would stop it, but I think it's been a couple summers that we haven't had enough rain, so they've stopped that. But this is summertime. There are lots of chairs and seats for people to eat at restaurants. But since it's the dead of winter, it's a little sleepy. A little sleepy. Place de l'Église. It's a really pretty big church inside. Looks like it's closed, so I can't take you in today. But it's surprisingly large. When I was in Agen, the Airbnb that we had was like right next to the church, and for Christmas Eve there was a midnight mass, of course, and at 11:30 the bells chimed and chimed and chimed, and I was in bed, of course. I wasn't at church. And then at 1:30, I was awakened to more bells chiming. And it went on for at least 10 minutes. They were pretty, but I was ready to go back to sleep. That's something else I like. I like hearing the church bell here, even from my apartment. It's really soothing, but now after a while I've gotten used to it, so I don't hear it all the time, whereas when I first arrived, I heard it every day. But that's something that I thoroughly enjoy about my town. Oh, we'll go this way and then we'll show you a little Christmas spot. Guess it's opening up. This morning it was closed. But things are starting to happen. A little ride for the kids. Forgot to mention, this is the Port de France. You can see the other
Bonjour.
Bonjour. I ran into my friend Baini. I'm not sure if you remember him from the Girona video we did in the summer, but he's off to someplace else. But I thought I'd bring him on camera to say hi to you. Bye. Au revoir.
Bye.
À bientôt. So that was my friend Baini. You may have seen him, as I said, in a video when we were in Girona over the summer. So I'm going to show you a little bit more of Céret, the Christmas market, La Porte de France. And those are the towers. When I was in Valencia this summer, they had doors like that for the ancient ramparts, and the towers were so big. The ones here in Céret look like toys in comparison. Little bouncy house for the kids. One of the things I like about living in Céret is that it's not big, but it's got just about everything you need. I can walk to the supermarket. There's a little market in town that I'll show you. It's just the outside of it. But within 20 minutes, I can walk to the bigger supermarket. Saturdays, we've got the big market. And then a couple of days a week, there's a market for where you can get your produce. So there are restaurants, there are cafes, there are activities, there are festivals in the summer and spring and fall. So it's not sleepy at all. As I've mentioned before, if you go, one village east or west, it is a dead zone. And so that's one of the things I like about Céret. You've got just about everything you could want. It's not huge, not a lot of culture, not a lot of museums. There is a music museum as well, but it's enough for me. I know that when I was coming back yesterday from Agen, I just really felt good. I came and I walked to this little Intermarché here, because when you go away on a trip, your refrigerator is empty, and when you come back, it's empty, so you need to get something at least for that day to get stuff. So I just came over here and I walked through the streets that I'm showing you now, and I just felt good. It felt like, yeah, this is home. I did not make a mistake with Céret. And I kind of saw it through a different lens, because I was, talking to my friend who's looking for the city that she wants to live in. And so we're talking about the things that she's looking for, but the things that I was looking for, although I really wasn't sure what I was looking for. It was more of a feeling. But then in just coming home, it was like, yeah, this feels good. There's no place like home, as I said earlier. What are some of the things that you look for in a a new city or town to live in, what's most important to you? Let me know in the comments. I recently did a live stream with an astrocartographer. Her name is Isabel. You can watch that. Put a link to that in the video and in the description. But it was really interesting because according to our birth chart, and according to astrocartography, there are better places and places that are not as good to live in, depending on what it is you're looking to experience. If you want to improve your career, or if you want to improve your love life, there are better places than others to do those certain things. You know, when I had my reading done on that live stream, it was interesting. I think there may be some truth to it. So you might want to check it out. As I said, I'll put the link in the description. So I think I'm going to end it here. It was a little bit of a tour around my town, my village, in winter, Christmas time. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.